No one in the family would wear it. What do you do?
Well, okay, so when
Legend
I was
has it
little,
that
I
long
don't picture
ago,
this, but my mom would make birthday cake and we would put
a group of
candles in it
7
and
heroes
sing happy
rose up
birthday
to
and
save
it
the
would be
world
Jesus on
from
Christmas
hordes of
Eve, which
merciless
I love, and
fiends.
I think I'm gonna do with
Their
my son
names
and
were
his
thus.
future children if I'm blessed enough to have them. Because he does like inject the reason for the season and why we're celebrating Christmas. The big birthday celebration for Jesus.
If you made the cake for Jesus and brought one to the cake, which is a high likelihood.
Oh yeah, for sure. Dive into the cake. There he is in. I wish I had a matching outfit with him, but I just love the picture.
Noel,
He's big, clumsy. Crazy, and there he is. And there's my husband. That's here at the
was sent
festival,
to
which I love going to.
We,
should the
my
world
wife
fall on
had something like the birthday cake for Jesus. And when she was little, when she was a toddler, she made a peanut baby Jesus, like a peanut shell that somehow has still survived. That is the first thing on her family's tree.
That is so cute.
It lives. And then on the juicy side,
each time
something that we are trying to start with my daughter as well. We all run down the stairs on Christmas morning. What it is.
As discord gave way to peace, legend
Remember, this predates having a phone. This had to be the handiwork of a father with television production experience. And I came to New Jersey. I was hoping to see my dad there in his chair at work. But he must be somewhere, but we don't usually see him.
Hey, Dad!
So I'm in New York. Like, I took the Steve Yeti. It was right there. It looked clean. Was it clean?
Damn, that vanilla coffee's good.
Thank you. So, I'm here in New York.
Hi guys, welcome to Romancing Saga 2 Revenge of the Seven. We're just watching the intro here.
Exactly right. Peter, we were going to surprise you. We didn't realize you were doing Fox and Friends, and then you wound up going to our house thinking you knock on the door. We were going to be there. We're here down the road from. I mean, I could say I'm in New Jersey, but I don't think anybody would buy it right now because you don't see any drones over there. No, I'm in the neighbor's house. I hope that inside. So, I would say that the number one thing everywhere that I've gone for the last 20 years, 15 years on Fox, people say, I feel like I watched you grow up. I've seen you run down the stairs every single year. Where did you come up with the idea for that? Well, that picture right there, the first house is our house in Great Falls, Virginia, when we were all working in D.C. And about the time you came along, Peter, I read somewhere in a magazine about how a father took a picture of his children every year at Christmas. But I was like, you know what? We've got video cameras, so I started standing at the bottom of the stairs, and then every year I would stand in the same spot. We had the house in Virginia, and then that house right there in New Jersey. And every year you would get a little bigger, and there you are in college with really nice hair, and then Sally, and then last but not least, Mary, college. She was in Boston College at that point. I wound up putting it all together, and there you are. The reason you're so excited is because you just saw the cast that you would have Santa, but Santa at Tyson's Galleria. We met him, and in fact, your mother and I were down at the same Galleria with you and Hillary and Bridget, and you sat on the same Santa location.
Santa knew to give it to you.
That's right. So I put that together. We ran it on Fox and Friends a couple of years, probably 15 years ago. And everywhere I go, people say, you know what, King, I saw that thing you did with your kids, and we do it at our house. In fact, we all know Gavin Patton used to be one of the top producers on Fox and Friends. He does that with his three boys. And there are people all across America who on Christmas morning are going to be standing at the bottom of their stairs, and rather than a video camera, they've got their phone. And 20 years from now, they'll put together a little montage and be like, oh, you guys do it so fast. And we have started that with Bridget and soon with her little brother.
This is, by the way, made from the creators of the Trials of Mana 2020 remake. That's another classic too. If you want a nice in your collection, nice one for your collection, then go for it.
Great.
Well, Steve, it's great to have you here, and I'm going to be asking Peter a little later if you ever came down the stairs.
It's not that expensive either.
Because he was in a hurry to see Santa. Listen, great question. Great question. I'd be downstairs, and I would hear, hey, can we come down?
Hey, Mr. Minstrel,
Santa
will you
was
please
here.
tell me one of your stories?
Thanks for joining us, Steve. Thanks, Dad.
Great to meet you. Merry Christmas. See you in the whole
Okay. We gotta leave it there. But coming up, New York
I
Congressman
shall
Mike
tell you
Lowe.
a tale
That's
of a war
next.
fought many, many years ago. A tale of Avalon and of her own empire, and a succession of emperors that leapt into prosperity. Spirits, lend me your voices, that this tale might inspire all to greater heights. The stage is set during the time of good Emperor Leo. In those days of eld, Avalon was a nation of little merit. Conflict had spread throughout the land like fire through a dense bush. Leon knew that quenching its flames was key to unifying the people under one banner. Under his rule, he cared for two sons, the courageous Victor and the kind-hearted Gerard. One fine spring day, Emperor Leon took Gerard out on a parade where the thieves lived
Won't
in
be
the
affected by aggro, but faster. Meet Rose Cards. They contain sildenafil and tadalafil. Slurps dissolve
This
on
plague
the
has caused our people to suffer for far too long.
Oh,
See
We
if
must
sparks are right for
eradicate
you.
like me too.
and seal it off.
Tommy Copper's shoulder
Understood,
support
Father.
bra will be your new favorite.
We are to reconvene with the Vanguard units. On the way,
Available
they
in
should
two
teach you the
styles,
basics
you're
of
gonna wear
combat.
every day. For
However,
everyday
this is no
comfort.
training exercise. You must be
The
prepared
broad
both
body
mentally
waiting
and
for it.
physically.
I shall do my best to see that I am.
Tommy Copper will have you feeling confident and comfortable all day. Why would I wear? Go to TommyCopper.com for big savings. Upgrade your bra today.
My name is Jim Guthrie. I'm 82 years old. I like to be doing I've been taking balance of nature, pretty solid. They're pretty plain.
Father, we have been beset upon.
Get 35% off your first preferred set with free shipping and our money-back guarantee as a new preferred customer when using discount code FOXNEWS. From beautiful St. Patrick's Cathedral with his ominous cosmos with a Christmas message and a message of hope and faith going into the new year on some of the futures. Join us this festive season for some holiday programming only
I
on
must follow my father's example.
We're live on location covering local Santa Claus parades and ready to take your call from top to six Celebrate the holiday season with local entertainment programs in December.
What should I do in this situation?
Your TV and local exclusively on Twitch.
I did it. I can still do better.
Hey, well, what's the question?
What driving my combo next thing?
No. Can I go? What?
The crew.
Smoking
Perhaps you should rest. It would not have been easy.
a message from Matt Canada.
No, we have not a moment to waste.
There are many dangerous spirits lurking within these walls.
No need for concern. Gerard must learn to fend for himself eventually.
I am more than aware of perils before us.
We will engage the enemy with the Imperial Force. I shall take up position in the center, while Bear will protect us from the front. James and Therese shall
Fox News
occupy the
alert: the
crest.
government funding bill on its way. Chief President Biden says capital
The
defense
safest
tax
position
legislature
for someone
just
is
minutes
doing
past the deadline. The
Focus on
stopgap
offense.
measure still a sticking point with many Republicans, as dozens of GOP lawmakers voted no. despite multiple revisions. But our next guest voted in favor of the bill, Republican Congressman Mike Lawler. Congressman, thank you for being here. Thanks for having me, Peter. So, last night, Republicans, with the help of Democrats, passed this bill that did not include Donald Trump's number one ask, which was getting rid of, or at least extending, the debt ceiling. Is that something that's going to happen soon? What's going to happen? The debt ceiling limit is reached next year, likely by about June. But look, we're still in a dividing government. I think people fail to recognize that, even though the focus has been on President Trump. Joe Biden is actually still the president, which is really mind-boggling because nobody's heard from him in weeks. And in fact, during this entire negotiation, he was nowhere to be found. Look, I believe, like President Trump, that the debt ceiling does need to be lifted. This is not about future debt. This is about previous debts incurred. And we have to pay those debts. And every time you start paying the debt, you run up against the limit. So the debt limit, while I understand its purpose, the reality is we're one of the only countries in the world that actually has it. It's been used as a political commodity for decades now. The party in the minority uses it as leverage in a negotiation. And I think what President Trump is trying to avoid is giving Democrats a loaded gun to hold to his head here. We have a situation next year. Republicans will be in complete control of Washington. And we have a lot of work to do, especially through reconciliation. We have to get our appropriations work done. And I think the president was trying to avoid Democrats being able to use that as a weapon. Interestingly enough, Elizabeth Warren agrees with him. She thinks the debt ceiling should be eliminated altogether. So, look, this is something we're going to have to deal with in the new year. I agree with my 34 or so colleagues that voted against the bill insofar as we have to reduce our debt. We're at $36 trillion. We have to bring down federal spending. But we're going to be best positioned to do that in the new year with Republican control of Washington, not right now in a divided government. And a question about next year, Congressman. To get this funding bill through and to avoid the government shutdown, Speaker Johnson needed a lot of Democratic help. When Kevin McCarthy did that, he got canned. So, in less than 2 weeks at the Speaker vote, is Johnson toast? Well, I reiterate, removing Kevin McCarthy was the single stupidest thing I've ever seen in politics. And, really undermined our ability as a majority for the entirety of the 118th Congress. Removing Mike Johnson would equally be a stupid. And so you're going to see Mike Johnson in 2 weeks on the first ballot. Absolutely. Look, President Trump needs to have his election certified on January 6th. If you don't have a speaker, you can't certify the election. So to throw, a grenade into the speaker vote would disrupt the ability to certify the election and, frankly, get President Trump sworn in on January 20th. We don't have the time nor the margin to do that. So we need to work together as a team. I get people's frustration, but let's focus on the work of the American people, put the petty grievances aside. And to your point, no speaker can't certify the election in that case. I saw somewhere, if that happens, then the president on Inauguration Day would be Chuck Grassley. Thank you, Congressman Mike Lawler. Thank you. Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas. Coming up, Trente Aragua gang member busted this time, hiding out next to a New York City engineer, a former ICE official, on the crisis the media tried to ignore.
Excellent.
Lowe's knows that holiday list to stretch further than your budget. With my Lowe's, there would be an hour of the day that I ate hair thinner. I chose Nutrafol because it was 100% drug-free and quickly tested. I experienced thickness, volume, Nutrafol is life-changing.
Get growing at
Once that is complete,
NutriFlow.com.
those screams will never bother us again. Now, let us away. The people anticipate your return.
Fucking love birds. I wish I was a bird sometimes just so I could fly like that, you know what I mean? It's fucking cool, man.
Before you take another bite, you need Eat Cleaner, the natural fruit and veggie wash that is going to change the way you think about fresh produce forever. Just spray and rinse. It's as easy as that. Our patented natural black formula not only removes wax, pesticides, and chemicals, but up to 99.9% of the bacteria that can cause foodborne illnesses. And check this out. Here's a delicious cooking apple, right? Here's another apple from the same place. The difference is we boiled it for 3 seconds to show you all the wax that you can't see. That wax is locking in the
I vow to
pesticides.
protect the people of Lorraine with my very life.
Look at this rock straight from the soil. The water just beats right on. With just a few sprays of Eat Cleaner, it's blasted to get rid of the wax, the chemicals, the dirt, and look at how the water goes right through it now.
I am pleased you have returned safely.
But it can last up to 5 times longer because it's clean. Just
I trust
spray
you're
and
unhurt.
rinse. Eat Cleaner with no aftertaste. It unlocks the of your
I'm no longer a
vegetables. Did you know?
Gerard is much better
Yeah.
suited to focus
This is
on
why
studies
all
than
your
setting
food should
foot on
start
the
out with
battlefield.
produce that's pesticide, chemical free.
Refrain from
The
taking him
best
more. As an artist, I feel that that is the best to me.
food waste.
Understand your position.
You need
But
Eat
fear that
Cleaner.
the
Go online now. Get not one, but 2 bottles of Eat Cleaner to have cleaner,
hounds of war
healthier
howl
fruits and
louder with
vegetables.
each passing day. As long as they deal chaos, they'll pay no rent. It's just taking us on all sides. We cannot afford to have Gerard shirk his mark of bullying and clearing this letter. When I feel the empire also requires capable strategists if it is to truly thrive. I can think of none more suited to that task than he. My lord, a woman by the name of Oriad requests an audience with
With
you.
Cardio Mobile, you can take a medical grade EKG in just 30 seconds for anyone. Cardio Mobile is proven to detect atrial fibrillation, one of the leading causes of stroke. Get Cardio Mobile today for just $69, our lowest price app, and check out our holiday offers for your recovery at cardio.com or Amazon.
Tempur-Pedic designed the Ergo for smart base to help you fall asleep more easily. Its gentle massage and relaxing
I
sounds
must say, this
are
is quite a
calming
surprise.
every night.
I had
Save
expected
up
a
to
serious
$500 now on select adjustable mattress sets.
Victor,
Christmas is here, and America just received its best hits. Now, too, the kids got your Christmas gift bundle, including free
today
President
is that
Trump
woman's lucky day. It is obvious that father was looking for an excuse that he could use to cut our conversation short. Remember that reading up on combat theory is no substitute for actual experience.
Okay, I want a 1 month subscription to PlayStation Plus.
We're back with the Fox News.
How much is that? $25 or the $25 card, and then you use it for the PlayStation Plus. I think that's how it's done.
Into a crowd hurting more than 200 others. What they are calling a deliberate attack. Stephanie Bennett is joining us now from London.
We'll just save it here.
Hey, Peter, yeah, those numbers are likely to increase.
Can't delete the saves for fuck's sakes. They're everywhere.
Holding a press conference later on today in about an hour and a half, so we will be watching that very closely. But as you mentioned, authorities say last check, at least 5 people have been killed, 200 others injured, 41
Falling from afar can end a battle before it starts.
The city's mayor says they will be holding a memorial service at the cathedral later today. That will be getting underway around 1 o'clock Eastern time. Now, also, a suspect is in custody and currently being questioned a lot of questions. And at this point, the attack happened around 100 miles west of Portland in Vancouver just 5 days before Christmas. The market was
will
obviously
surely
people
lead to
spending
greater
their Friday
results.
night with family and friends.
Use
Witnesses say
weapons you're
others
comfortable
saw
with
that
to
Trump's
get a
speed
glimmer of
was a black
inspiration needed to
BMW
learn new
plowing
techniques.
through the crowd. Chaos and confusion then
Very
ensued,
true.
all as his visitors
Perhaps I
tried to
should
help
simply
his
forgo bells
victims.
altogether.
As a precaution, other Christmas markets in Germany shut down last
Emperor
night,
Leon's
and many
noble
around
blood
the
courses
country
through your veins
also
as
upped
well.
security, including over there in New York. Over the years, markets have added things like 24/7 security and steel concrete safety barriers and precautions. Local reports say the market in Magdeburg will not reopen this year.
We'll just save it here for fuck's sakes.
Chancellor Olaf Scholz visited the
Let's
site
see.
and said a little while ago, today will be a day of grieving and mourning. And quote, what a terrible act it is to injure and kill so many people there with such brutality. A 50-year-old Saudi Arabian doctor who first came to Germany in 2006, he's in custody.
Lord
Authorities
How
not
have your
yet
studies
released
been?
his motive, but they say he was acting
Not very
alone.
well, I'm afraid.
Today, they will be
I've been
focusing on
accompanying
the
my
suspect's
father on his
background,
expeditions,
and checking
which
things
leaves little
like his
time for
internet
me.
history and also his cell
Yes,
phone.
you have
Of
gone
course,
from
this
a
one
good
was
many
almost 8
stories
years
apart.
to the day when 12 people were
That seem to be
killed.
more
Then,
suited to
after a
spy
truck
or
ran through a
distort.
Christmas market
May
there,
take some
injuring at
practice, but I
least
assure
50
you,
others.
you
So
will
Tom
work
Islamic
the
State said one of its soldiers carried out
Unfortunately, I
that
still don't
attack.
know any spells.
Again, German police are expected to give an update within the next
Magic can
2
often
hours,
strike
hour
true
and
in
a half,
situations
so
in
we
which
hope
simple
that we get
physical
more
ornaments
information then.
prove
How's
less
it back to
effective.
Such a tragic story. We'll continue to follow with those updates. Stephanie Bennett, live for us. Money. Stephanie, thank you very much.
Fireball.
Meanwhile, Aurora, Colorado police charging 11 suspected TVA gang members in a violent home invasion. AI critics are pointing to past TVA should they arrive in Colorado as a hoax. But these violent authorities catching 22 suspected
See what you can, won't you? Proceed with his
Not exactly. I'm
just
not
now.
to that point.
It's unbelievable how much TVA has spread across the nation.
best suits you.
Take control there to
I'm
New
afraid
York
the
City.
knowledge I have
But I
gained
want
from
to ask
this
you,
is
who's
far
tired
more
in
battlefield.
2020? And what really is
Personally
shocking
am
to me,
neither
John,
nimble nor
is
fleet
that
of foot.
just a
Does
few
anyone
years
believe
ago, the alibis that
Instead,
had Porter
I
Trump, no one
focus on becoming a veritable
of
Iron
Trimble
Man.
Rockwell.
By
And
standing
you
my
heard that
ground
with
and
the
never
first
retreating, I can protect everyone else from danger.
December,
Please do not lose hope. There is a road out there. You have to put in the work first.
But we really started to
Will come to
get
you.
noticed.
I look
2022,
forward to seeing you
2023.
grow into
And
the
I knew
man
that they
I
were
know
here
you can
in
be.
Denver at that time.
Seriously.
For the media, and even when we released this video that we're looking at right now, the media still tried to suppress us. They tried to sweep it under the rug. I mean, Christmas time, we got a bunch of Grinches in the media over here that are trying to hide things. And all it's done is, I've turned that rug out to allow the kids spreading. We've got them in over 17 states. Well, we're certainly not hiding it here, and having people like you that understand this to warn the country is an important thing. I want to just sort of connect some dots here now. Another sort of angle, and that is the New York Times reporting today that the Biden administration, on the way out the door, is putting up roadblocks to Trump's deportation campaign by extending temporary protective status (TPS) for countries like
Fear for your
Venezuela.
safety.
How do you
You
see
may
that
be
impacting
skilled in
things?
matters, but you can hardly be
You know,
considered lawfully guarded
Trump's
at
going to
home.
target who he wants to target, and
I
that's going to
appreciate what you're saying. However, I must do what I can to carry on my family's legacy.
In that case, you could try honing your skills with different weapons, for they are the tools of combat.
Another 6 months,
An untrained
12 months,
hand
18
cannot
months.
hope to bring the full might of their armaments to bear. A practice gun, however, will undoubtedly make you a force to be reckoned with.
Thank you. I shall do my best.
They want to do something and keep
Feel free to ask me anything.
of business as
I shall
usual.
assist you in
Well, we're
whatever
certainly going
manner
to
you
see a
require.
change from the past 4 years when the incoming administration takes over with people like Tom and John. Lori, thank you very much for taking time. And Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Rick. I appreciate it. All right. Australia passing a first ever social media ban for kids under 16 last month. Now, a majority of Americans say they want the same. An expert on the right call for kids. Car shopping.
2 girls, 2 dogs. I'm sold.
Oh, I got that.
Like nearly half of all these cars. This puppy has been in an accident. Carfax.com shows how an accident impacts price, so you don't have to overpay. Wow, this is cool. Yeah, don't really fall. Shop it fast.
My sorry ass arthritis. It's just okay. Isn't okay.
Did
And
you
I was
suffer any wounds?
downpedaling.
If you still have symptoms after trying to see that blocker like Humira
We
or
cannot
Advil,
count on that always happening though. Do
Invoke
not
is a
shut
once
your
daily pill that
sword
can rapidly relieve
or you
joint
may
pain,
not be so
stiffness,
lucky
and
next
swelling
time.
as fast as 2 weeks for some. And even
If
for
ever
3
your
years,
retinue
many
were to
people
fall in
felt this
battle,
relief.
you
Invoke
must
can
have a
stop
means
joint
of
damage,
protecting
and if
yourself.
PSA can leave skin clear or
If it
almost
comes to
clear.
that point, I'm afraid we may have already lost. For I can never hope to match your prowess.
Serious infections, blood clots, some fatal. Cancers including
The
lymphoma
enemy
and
is
skin.
strong
Serious
against
allergic
this
reactions,
which
genetic
if I be
tears,
forced
death,
to
heart attack, and
attempt
stroke
nurturing
occur.
you,
CV
you
at
will
risk
surely
if
Both
be
you.
infected
killed.
your child.
You can't leave me alone, can you?
Tell your doctor if you've had
That's your fucking problem.
I shall do my best to not hamstring your troops.
Don't take it from your
I believe that everyone has their rightful place, and yours would be in the library, not on the
You know, I
battlefield. With all due respect, Lord Gerard, you need to hear this. We mercenaries will fight tooth and nail for whomever we are contracted with. We will not sign a contract with simply anyone. We only work with people whose orders are backed by strength. Should our patron prove to be nothing more than a paper tiger, we will not hesitate to serve someone else. Okay, I shall keep that in mind.
Have you also checked with your weight? Same.
Discover the power. What we go eat, I lost 35 pounds. And so, lost over 46 pounds.
I'm keeping the weight off.
I'm reducing my risk. Wegovy is the only vegan this, proven to reduce risk of major cardiovascular events such as death, heart attack, or stroke in adults with heart disease and obesity. Don't use Wegovy with semaglutide or GLP-1 medicines or in children under 12. Don't take it. You or your family have HCC, MEN2, or allergic to it. Tell your provider. Plan to have surgery or procedure. Hard breastfeed, pregnant or planning. Stop taking it. Get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in
nothing in
your
here.
stomach pain or any of these allergic reactions.
Been through there already.
Serious side effects may include pancreas,
Previous playthrough.
gallbladder problems. Call your prescriber if you have any of these symptoms. Wegovy may cause low blood sugar and even diabetes, especially if you take medicines to treat diabetes. Call your prescriber about vision changes if you feel your heart racing while at rest or if you have mental changes, depression, thoughts of suicide may occur. Common side effects include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, stomach pain, flu or upset, headaches, feeling tired, dizzy or bloated, gas, and
Oh, this guy.
some side effects lead to dehydration, which may cause severe.
With Wegovy,
I'm losing weight.
keeping it off.
Ask you. When you can't watch, listen. Get the latest news, business, and news headlines on SiriusXM. Anytime, anywhere. Fox News Audio on SiriusXM. America is listening.
A new poll shows nearly 60% of U.S. voters want a social media ban for children in the country, modeled after Australia's first-of-its-kind law passed last month. Our next guest has been studying the effects of social media on children for years. Social psychologist, NYU professor, and author of The Anxious Generation, Jonathan Haidt, joins me now. Jonathan, thank you so much for joining us. So 60% of people say they do support a ban on social media for children. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's fantastic, and it's actually kind of obvious. You know, in the real world, we don't let kids do everything that adults can do, especially if it's exposing them to graphic sexuality, graphic violence, addiction or physical or mental harm. We have age limits. Except if it's on social media, when you let your kid open an account on Snapchat or Instagram, TikTok, they're going to be exposed to incredibly graphic sex, violence. They're going to become addicted 10% of them, 20%. And they're going to be exposed to things that are physically dangerous for them, TikTok challenges, things like that. So I'm thrilled. It's about time for me to get an age limit in the U.S. too.
So the CDC recently came out with a study, and it found that 15% of children ages 12 to 17 have anxiety, 9% have depression, and 7.8% have behavioral disorders. I mean, these are kids 12, 13, 14. This should be the most carefree time of their lives. Do you think that these numbers are a result of the increase in social media use among children?
Yes, actually, many studies show that the rates are much, much higher than that, close to 30 or 40% for girls especially. And there is good evidence that social media is a major cause. We can't say it's the only cause. But the fact that the kids themselves say it, the kids point to social media as a cause. The parents point to social media as a cause. The memos from inside the companies, we now have a lot of things to lawsuits. We now have a lot of memos. But inside these companies, they know they are trying to addict kids. They know that they are harming kids. Snapchat did 10,000 reports of extortion. Not a year, a month, every month. So kids are being harmed at an industrial scale. And we do know that when you go off of social media for a couple of weeks, your rate of depression and anxiety goes down. So yes, there is good evidence that social media is a
and especially among young girls. I mean, there's so much comparison out there, looking at images and then looking at yourself and just feeling bad about yourself when they're little and beautiful and they're just getting these images that, you know, completely put their minds in a place where it shouldn't be. So I mentioned that Australia passed this social media ban, and there are 6 states in the country, and it goes both ways. And when it comes to Republican-controlled states and Democrat-controlled states like Florida and California that are interested in cracking down on social media in certain ways. Do you think that that's the solution? The federal government or the state government stepping in and putting bans in place, or should this be something that happens at home? What do you think about that?
Well, of course, in America, we generally think that the parents should be the principal deciders of this. But here's the thing. We're all trying. We are trying. But we can't keep our kids off unless you can keep your kid away from the internet. It's the way it's set up now. If your kid can get to a web browser, they can sign a contract with any of these companies, open an account, you'll never know. The company will take their data, expose them to harmful things, and they don't get information. So Florida and many other states, and you're right, it's completely bipartisan because Republicans and Democrats, we all have kids. So it's completely bipartisan. For the most part, I want parents to be able to decide what they do, but we need help. Just like we can't be the ones who keep our kids out of liquor stores. We have to have the company checking pages. So yes, we need it. Parents want it. Australia's trying to be done. There's really no reason not to do this.
You're right. Politics is second when it comes to things like this. Parents are parents first, and we all love our children and need to protect them. Jonathan, thank you so much for joining us. Very important topic. We appreciate you and your work.
My pleasure, Pauline.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
All right, hundreds of flights canceled as winter storms rip across the U.S. A travel expert on how you can still make it home for the holidays. That's coming up next.
You think America first when you spend your hard-earned money? You feel guilty shopping your companies that take your money and push a liberal agenda? The choice is yours. You shop at Nation, you're a part of the solution, not the problem. We have thousands of products from hundreds of American and veteran-owned retailers. These patriots love America and they're fighting for you. So do the right thing, vote for smart, and spend wisely. Right now, go to mammoothnation.com and use this promo code and save 30%. We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's what Fisher Lives do. Start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor our portfolio. And what about we're outside. We're at the beach here, obligated back to work. We have transparency structured, so we do better when we do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Consumer cellular is lowering the price for those 50 and up. Get 2 unlimited lines for $30 each. Just $60 a month.
So see you
So the
again
carrier
soon.
ranks #1 in network coverage SaGaUpart.com.
Lowe's knows the perfect gifts don't have to stretch your budget. That's why we offer a free select tool when you buy select tools and batteries from our top brands. So perfecting the holidays. Oh, you're good. It's easier than ever. Lowe's knows how to help you holiday.
Tommy Copper's got your back with back support built right into your shirt. Because when your back feels better, you can be your best. Get the tank top with back support at TommyCopper.com today.
When you can't watch, listen. Get the latest news, business, and news headlines on SiriusXM. Anytime, anywhere. Fox News Audio on SiriusXM. America is listening.
I find it challenging to play.
The program is dead.
The throw off is vacant. We're about to choose the most famous man in the world. I've seen that go on the papacy. It's not more dangerous than the ones who do want it.
Drafted thriller. And hands down, the best picture of the year.
You should be careful, Thomas.
Play. Watch at home now.
They don't know we're here.
I'll handle this.
Not today.
I never let my prey escape. We won the battle, not the war.
Having a learning how to whisper, also being pregnant and learn how that forward. But it was wonderful to connect into and access the services and access to God.
Father, what have you set upon?
Just meeting mothers and get to pray and connect with God support, helping us integrate the aspect.
Winter storms with rain and snow threatening holiday travel plans for millions across the nation.
And experts are warning this is only the start of a record-setting travel season.
Here are some tips and tricks on how to handle this is travel expert and former flight attendant Bobby Murray. Bobby, before you do, thank you so much for doing this. So we're already seeing travel cancellations and travel delays today. So we're so looking forward to hearing what you have to say. You say that people should get in touch with customer service, but not on the phone. You say go to the social media apps. Tell us about that.
We have the ability
Yes, that's right. You know, yesterday alone we saw just about 10,000 flight delays and 600 cancellations, and today we're already looking at some delays and cancellations as well. And just like you mentioned, everyone's going to be picking up the phone trying to get in touch with the airline when they encounter a situation, but almost all airlines will use social media now to connect with customers. So if you are on Twitter or on X, if you're on X or you're on Facebook, send a message to the airline there, and you'll be able to communicate with them faster. And also just the airline app, they use those to help you handle rebookings and disconnections.
Okay, Bobby, you know, whenever I'm traveling or going either to, you know, a lot of times I'll try if I can to not check a bag because obviously it's a later flight get canceled, and sometimes we're tough with luggage. You've got some advice for folks who may encounter that.
Yeah, so, you know, consider using an AirTag or one of those 5G devices that connect with your phone. So this way you know where your baggage is. Now, if the airline does lose your bag, you do file a claim with the airline, and they do use their computer systems to try to track down your bag. But some airlines are now incorporating the AirTag and 5G devices into their luggage system. So you can share the location of the bag with you and tell them exactly where it is. And also, something you should keep in mind is if you lose your bag, or I'm sorry, it's delayed, they never lose it, but it's delayed. If your baggage is delayed longer than 12 hours, you are entitled to be reimbursed by the airline for what you purchased if you do need anything while you're waiting for your baggage.
Well, go on a spending spree.
Right, and we know on a day like today, when people are trying to get out of town to wherever they're going to be for Christmas, there are long lines at the TSA. You cannot avoid it, even if you have pre-check. But they have a new app. That's true. So the TSA does have an app that you can use now that tracks wait times at airports across the country. So they always tell you to get to the airport 2 to 3 hours early, but you can check the TSA app and see just how long the wait time is to get through security and to the gate. So this way you can plan accordingly. Take that into account with the weather and the local traffic where you are to get to the airport, and this way you can make sure you make it to the airport on time for your flight, and you won't find yourself in a situation where you need to use social media. Yeah, anytime because you already disconnected.
And before we let you go, do you like clear TSA pre-check better?
Oh, I use the gold check, yeah. So you can use clear to get to the front of the line, and they put you to the front of the pre-check line.
Laura, Bobby, Laura, thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure a lot of people out there are paying extra close attention to this segment. We appreciate you.
Anytime. America. And thank you to our partner, Bass Pro Shops, for style and box and friends. For the entire month of December, where is the caribou? Email us at friends@fox.com. Give us a day. We're trying to pick one.
I'm ready. Bullseye.
This holiday season, Fox and Friends Studio is presented by Bass Pro Shops.
Have the advantage here. So long.
After the season, Santa's Wonderland, from Old Santa, a holiday tradition that's ready to live. Bass Pro Shops and the Bass. You're engaging together. We delays declared that we will reply. We're here to reply.
We've checked off our to-do list.
Now we're checking on how to diagnose.
We've been lazy or taking backwards.
I'm lazy
We
boy.
have no recourse but to fight.
Long live the lazy.
You know what's the gift idea? Get the 1-2 gift card. Our laser measured floor liners, cargo liner, and feeding system, or the Google Dog Protector. Get our gift card instantly at WT.com.
Dry eyes still feel gritty, rough, or tired? With MyMo, eyes can feel. MyMo is the only prescription dry eye drop that forms a protective layer for the #1 cause of dry eye, too much tear evaporation, or relieve them.
Shit.
Allow me to prove what I like.
Ask your eye doctor about prescription MyMo.
Want the effects of Viagra, but faster? Eat Rose Life. They contain sildenafil and alpha, the active ingredients in Viagra and Cialis. It spikes dissolve one at a time. Dissolve will work faster than most drugs. Plus, sildenafil, the active ingredient in Cialis, stays in your system for long-lasting results. That's right, doing it long-lasting? We got it. See if sparks are right for you at Rose.com/sparks.
I'm a little nervous. Can you tell me when it happened?
Well, then I could avoid fighting altogether.
Did he just leave?
Come on, bring it back. If he's not this good, he's got my attention. Bring it back, please.
I must follow my father's example.
Now,
From creating memories to finding the perfect fit, let us make these seasons a little easier. Right now, save up to $60 on select
I never let my prey escape.
I told you I don't need these anymore. I have Sling. This critical time calls for the critical news coverage that Sling provides.
The most important news at the best price. Slim.
Just because it's wet outside, you don't need to wear boots. Presenting Skechers waterproof sneakers with rugged 100% waterproof construction and comfy, breathable, lightweight, easy-to-wear sneaker. Ditch the boots and experience comfy, capable Skechers waterproof sneakers.
Really feels like they're quiet for the storm right now. There's something forward.
I'm gonna go see if I can actually, yeah, definitely that. It's the 9 a.m. hour of Fox and Friends Weekend, starting with this. Lawmakers passed a funding bill just minutes after the shutdown deadline. Now the bill is headed to President Biden's desk.
Plus, the majority of Americans now say they support a social media ban for kids under 16 years old. We reveal the state's already taking action to protect your children.
Counting down to Christmas and are putting our gingerbread house decorating skills to the test. The final hour of Fox and Friends Weekend starts right now.
We have the advantage here.
It's 3-0. I got one, even though this is my first time on the couch in 8 years.
That's right. You have a second, Peter. You do it well. Mine's middle was the same lineup that we're sitting on the couch.
Skills, formation, but that's fine.
Our watch should be better than that.
And the fireplace was really roaring there. That's why it's hot in the studio. I thought it was because of Carly's space
I
heater.
know. The space heater, this is the Ainsley and particularly Brian complaint. And I just don't know. I have to ask Ainsley how she does it because I'm either freezing with it off or burning my skin off on my leg with it on. Or burning your legs too.
Or turning it to me.
Are you hot too?
My heater was on his face, but we do begin with a Fox News alert now. The Senate is has passed a bill to stop the government shutdown, sending it to President Biden's desk after missing the deadline at midnight by 37 minutes.
The measure extends government funding into March and includes roughly $100 billion in disaster aid and relief for farms.
The newly passed 118-page bill does not include many policies that were in the original 1,500-page proposal, including healthcare provisions, restricting investments in China, pay raises for lawmakers, and suspending the debt ceiling.
Trump is reportedly not happy about the bill, especially the fact that the spending deal does not include that suspending the debt ceiling which you mentioned. Carly, now Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, says he's spoken with the president-elect.
I was in constant contact with President Trump throughout this process. He knew exactly what we were doing and why, and this is a good outcome for the country.
President Biden has signaled that he will sign the CR bill into law. He hasn't done it just yet, and that was one of the interesting things that I was following yesterday when it passed the House. About 5:30 p.m. East Coast time, and then of course it's going to take a while. The Senate, they got to wrangle it for a couple hours. And it's that midnight deadline, so I said, man, President Biden's going to have a late night because you would think that he would stay up, watch what's going on in the Senate floor, get the pen out, and then sign it the second it passes and it gets sent to him. That didn't happen.
This is somebody we still have not ever confirmed that he was briefed overnight during the October 7th terror attack. We know he found out about it in the morning, but things were happening overnight, and it was just quiet and quiet and quiet. And so, not really a surprise that.
We gotta wait till the end.
And there are so few things that the president himself has to actually do. As we learned yesterday in the Wall Street Journal, there are like 50 people as part of some huge government conspiracy to conceal the president's diminished faculties. But, like, the only thing that he still has to do is sign bills.
And we learned from that piece that there's, quote, good days and bad days, so the number of people shielding him may increase on any given bad day as opposed to a good day.
And Donald Trump, we got it on the big board here, Donald Trump apparently does not think that this spending bill was a good day because it does not extend
the debt limit. It sounds like there's an appetite for that to happen when he gets into office. But regardless of what wound up in or out, we have seen something extraordinary. And it is not just your run-of-the-mill funding spike over Christmas. We are seeing an incoming president negotiating spending bills and then making the current president sign it, which we think he is going to do.
I know, and he's being put forward leaders, and he's, talking to both sides of the aisle, trying to make things work, already saying what day one priorities are going to be. This was a really long story. We thought that the original bill that Mike Johnson had negotiated with both Republicans and Democrats would pass, but then Elon Musk stepped in and said it's too big, it's basically an omnibus, you got to cut it down, which is ultimately what happened. Congressman Mike Lawler out of New York was on the show earlier this morning, and he talked about why it took so long to get this bill through.
We're still in a divided government. I think people fail to recognize that, even though the focus has been on President Trump. Joe Biden is actually still the president, which is really mind-boggling because nobody's heard from him in weeks. And in fact, during this entire negotiation, he was nowhere to be found. We have a situation next year where Republicans will be in complete control of Washington. And we have a lot of work to do, especially through reconciliation. We have to get our appropriations work done, but we need to work together as a team. I get people's frustration, but let's focus on the work of the American people and put the petty grievances aside.
Speaking of petty grievances, Mike Johnson did the thing that caused Kevin McCarthy his job. He avoided a government shutdown. That's great. He needed a ton of Democratic votes to do it. When Kevin McCarthy did that, he got canned. And so we're less than 2 weeks away from the speaker vote, January 3rd.
What's going to happen?
I don't know. We haven't heard anybody say who an alternative speaker would be.
Right?
They break McCarthy.
Well, he doesn't. Yeah, that's right. You don't have to be
I said they were going to be on Bill would get put on the scales with President Trump, who will be instrumental. And that he won't have been sworn in yet, but obviously his influence will count.
I bet you nickel that Donald Trump will have an opinion about who the Republican speaker is.
Right,
And he's going to be come on social media.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. So far, he has signaled that he still wants Mike Johnson to have the job. But you do mention social media, and there's a new study that reveals, and this is something that is bipartisan. I mean, it's parents across the country are worried about social media. And this particular Quinnipiac study reveals that 6 in 10 Americans want a social media ban for children between the ages of 14 and 17 years old. And it's because we have seen the effects of what social media does to young people. The CDC also came out with a report that said 15% of people between 12 and 17 suffer from anxiety, depression at 9%, and behavioral disorders at 7.5%. And there are also studies that show those numbers much higher.
As someone who has children in their teens and 20s, they really lived through this experience, and you guys have young children. It's hard to overstate just how important addressing this issue is. We had Jonathan Hayden, a social psychologist, on earlier, talking about the dangers of social media. Here's some of what he said.
In the real world, we don't let kids do everything that adults can do, especially if it's exposing them to graphic sexuality, graphic violence, addiction, or physical or mental harm. We have age limits. Exactly, it's on social media. When you let your kid open an account on Snapchat or Instagram, TikTok, they're going to expose the fact that the kids themselves say it. The parents are on social media as a cause. The memos from inside the companies. We now have a lot of, thanks to lawsuits, we now have a lot of memos from inside these companies. They are trying to addict kids. They know that they are harming kids. Carly, if your son and my daughter were 1 day apart, social media is a long way away from them, but looking down the pike, basically, I would be fine with limits like what they're talking about. You have to make sure that you can protect free speech for others, but somehow, I grew up with a Polaroid camera and a walkie-talkie. Didn't need a smartphone. I turned out okay.
Did you turn out more than okay?
And the people that don't think so are telling me on social media. Actually, they think so bang up to 37.
Talk about, we're all the frame
child being able to go and see their friends and they'll be left out. And that's fine. That's something to consider. But when I interviewed the DEA, the head of the DEA earlier, she talked about the opioid crisis and the fentanyl crisis in the country. And she said, you know, social media, by having teenagers, rolling teenagers out there, they're existing for potential clients for the drug dealers that don't care. They're trying to get them in. And many of these teens don't even know that they're being attracted. And so the dangers are far wide. For sure, you know, walk down a dangerous street in a dangerous city by themselves, and they're making it worse out of social media.
I know. And also, I know that there are people
Excellent. Rabbit's foot.
who say, well, Australia did that government overreach, and I totally respect that. And what states are doing, it should happen at the home, and all of that is valid. But I think that other people are also realizing that, as Jonathan said, that this is it's addictive. It's almost like a drug, and you don't treat alcohol the same way with all ages. You know, there are restrictions on that. So could you treat social media and cell phones and all of that in the same powerful way as other addictive substances? I think certainly up for debate. It's fascinating.
Yeah, and we'll see. There's going to be pressure during the Trump administration to do something about this because it's more and more kids
More about
are going to social media.
about the future of TikTok. Yeah, that's it. The Supreme Court will take up that argument, and obviously the president-elect's waiting. He's right.
You want to talk about addictive? TikTok doesn't even have a clock at the top, and so you can be scrolling and not even realize what time it is. And that whole time, it's not looking at all of your photos and your texts. Meanwhile, winter storms are dumping rain and snow along the I-95 corridor, as AAA says. A record 119 million people will travel for Christmas this year. Big cities like Boston, Providence, and Philadelphia are being impacted.
This morning, nearly 1,700 flights have already been delayed.
Let's turn now to Chief Meteorologist Rick Reitman with our Fox Sports forecast. Hey, Rick.
Good morning. You know what's happening?
What?
It became winter.
Oh, happy winter, everybody.
We are officially winter. The best part about this day is it means that the day starts getting longer from here on out. It's the only thing that is good about this day. And this, take a look at this. So we had snow here this morning right here in New York City. And look at our All-American Christmas tree on Fox Sports. That is absolutely beautiful. Snow stuck on the north side of the tree, not so much on the south side of the tree, but to the north. Look at that stick right there beside the tree. Beautiful sight here. Take a look at the maps. We're going to talk about white Christmas. Now, technically, the National Weather Service has a definition of white Christmas. It means you have an inch of snow on the ground on Christmas. Currently, 27% of the country has at least an inch of snow on the ground. This is where that is. You can see it's now extended across parts of the coastal areas on that I-95 corridor. I think we're going to see some of that move pretty quickly, though. Overall, we've got a pattern here that's going to set up. It's going to bring a few more storms across the country this week. It's going to be a little bit warmer. This is a storm we have in the northeast right now. And behind this, it is going to get really cold tonight. This is a wind chill forecast for tomorrow morning. Single digits down towards the 11 is going to be 5, 4, 11 here. Solidly going to be in place. But we have a big warm-up coming tomorrow, Monday, and Tuesday. You see that orange on the map? But it's going to be above average temperatures, warmer air, moving in. It will melt some of snow. White Christmas. Just what's on today's Christmas. And enjoy.
Okay. Thank you so much. To get you started with this, the man convicted of murdering 2 teens in Delphi, Indiana, will spend 140 years behind bars. Richard Allen receiving the maximum sentence until yesterday after he was found guilty last month. According to prosecutors, Allen killed 14-year-old Louise German and 13-year-old Abby Williams in 2017, forcing the two off of a trail at gunpoint before dumping their bodies a quarter-mile away from where he encountered them. His attorneys say they plan to appeal the verdict. President Trump picking Catholic vote President Brian Birch for U.S. ambassador to the Holy See, saying he has demonstrated exceptional leadership and loves his church in the United States. He joined Fox News weekend right after the election.
President Trump spoke to the concerns of many workers and families that just want to return to normal. They don't want radical abortion. They don't want Catholic hospitals being shut down. And they want normal gas prices and normal grocery prices and normal border and
normal girl
An
sports
ancient
where
technique.
boys aren't hanging out in the
Inherit your abilities.
He is committed to working with leaders inside the Vatican and the new administration to promote the dignity of all people. And football, the Atlanta Falcons reportedly looking to cut quarterback Kirk Cousins after they signed him to a 4-year, $180 million deal. It comes after the team will bench him for rookie Michael Penix Jr. after Cousins threw a career-high 16 interceptions this season. The team reportedly looks to cut Cousins before March, when his $10 million roster bonus is set to kick in. And those are your headlines, guys.
I don't know how I feel about that because, he came to Washington early in his career and did pretty well. And now, I feel like he's getting thrown out to the curb.
Yeah, up to the curb. Oh, let me just see my $100 million.
We can breathe once your brother has been avenged. Are you with me?
All right, so this is pretty fun. Here are the most popular Christmas songs according to each state.
Each of our home states.
Right, we have a map of them all. New Jersey is our shared home state. All I want for Christmas is you. Kirk, what about you and DC?
Was that Mariah Carey? Did you guys have that?
I know. We get mistaken for each other all the time.
We can talk about your pitch.
It's Christmas karaoke worthy. In DC, the Christmas song, Merry Christmas to You, is fantastic.
Which I didn't know what it was, but then Sarah Sonic said it's the one that starts with Chuck Nuts roasting on an open fire. Did you know that?
Let's save this here.
We like the Christmas song more than Christmas shoes. That's nobody's favorite.
Is that a song? Christmas shoes? Yeah.
It's a real down after the show.
Here.
Arizona, that's where Rick's from. Last
No.
Christmas. That's the one. But Jingle Bells is the most popular overall. It's the favorite song of 14 states.
It is also the only one that we have a clip of.
All right, guys. We'll catch you next one. All right.
Okay, so this is the upbeat.
Wow, look how big that is. Good. It's gonna be a good one. All right. Peace out.
There you go. If you've never heard Jingle Bells before, this is what Jingle